but like, I'm in a rush to watch the episode. I want to give it its 315th view.
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
what I want.
6 years, it says. My
Oh my
God. Good Lord.
And look at us since
Yeah, since then.
2 critically acclaimed artists.
That's right. An acclaimed author and an acclaimed animator all together at last.
We did it.
Well, Harrison, thank you for taking the time and joining me on this commentary track.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. I can't believe we get to revisit this, I'm going to say this landmark moment in both of our artistic careers.
That's true, it was. Oh, boy. 2 frames of typing. Boy, that's... You know what? That was a technique that got me by 6 years ago, and I'd still find bullshit shortcuts like that to this day.
It's good. I didn't even notice. It looked to me like a very realistic movement.
No, that's that. So these 2 guys are Kevin Getz, who I recently partnered with on an award-winning film.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'd prefer if you don't talk about your other partners. I'm a very jealous man.
Well, you never forget your first, and you were my first collaborative partner on an animated project. And just to briefly talk about our, because that's what I want to do with this, is actually like not so much as watch this, because you can watch this on your own time. But I invited you because remember where we were creatively about 6 years ago when we did something like this. And the process was I would go to your apartment and we would just like drink scotch and riff.
Yeah, it really was perfect. I was in that stage where I was trying to avoid writing a book. And so like smaller writing projects were exactly what I wanted. And, I love Killroy. And then the chance to write an episode with you was like, this is exactly what I need right now. It's like, I don't want to say a low-stakes project, but low stakes in the sense that I don't have to give it 2 years.
Yeah, your livelihood is not going to depend on the success of, the silly little web cartoon.
Yeah.
No, I totally get it. And might I say, it came at a really good time for me because at this point I had maybe done 18 short episodes of Killroy, and I was like getting creatively done.
Yeah, you were
like I was running out of ideas. So when you came to me and said like, "Hey, Jameson, I kind of want to collaborate with you on a Killroy episode," and I was like, this is perfect because I'm getting close to 20 episodes. That seems like a good way to walk away from it. Good time to walk away from it. But you know what? I want to go out on a high note, and I'm going to collaborate with one of the greatest writers I know. In fact, one of the only writers I know.
That really undercut the power.
But everything else I said was true. And
still true that I think of you as a writer.
Mm-hmm. Boy, I'm getting the lion's share of the credits here. But
well, it's your baby, man.
It is my baby. But there you are.
Ceasefire.
First build.
I like the idea that Killroy kills. Killroy kills mostly when somebody sets him up. For like a murder-based pun. Like,
for a punchline, yeah.
Like if you don't do setups, Killroy won't kill you with punchlines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like the entire idea of it was just like, it's not about the violence, it's not about like the dumb action, but that's just how, if you can't end a scene, you just like... yeah, which absolutely would not fly in mainstream television, but works so well for the internet.
Roy Sourboy, tell me about that name.
Roy Sourboy? Oh, I mean, that was play on Roy's Our Boy, which was a chant that you would hear in the Smash Brothers.
That's so dumb.
Well, I mean, just you wait. The whole project is littered with stupid puns and play on words.
What was the deal with the mustache lady cop again? How did this character come about?
This was primarily the heavily influenced on the woman who voiced the police captain. My friend Dee, who was just a delightful person, and every time there would be like a house party or something, she'd be the first one to put on a fake mustache. And I just figured, well, comic book, superhero, police captain or Commissioner Gordon, he's got a mustache, so let's throw a mustache on her.
It's a funny joke. Like, I really think that, the idea of a mustachioed female police captain, it hasn't been done anywhere else.
Nope.
And that's a credit to you and your innovative mind.
Oh,
Jameson.
thank you. It really, well, all credit goes towards Dee and her just natural ability to put on a fake mustache at a house party.
Here we have one of my favorite dumb visual gags, which is that he spilled mayo on the R of his mayor sash.
Now he's just the mayo. He's the mayo of town.
He's the mayo of town.
Oh, those heady days when the concept of a dumb person in a position of power was played for laughs.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
It's a good thing that everyone running everything is so competent now.
Yeah, really.
Do you think, Jameson, that we were the first ones to parody the Avengers?
No, but we certainly did it the best.
We did. Superhero and the rest of Hero Team is excellently named.
Yeah. Oh god, I mean, like the whole concept of that was just that, you know, it's Superman with the perspective of everything that's awesome about the character, but written from the perspective of someone who doesn't like Superman.
Yeah. Well,
So instead of it just being the typical bad Superman, he's impossibly good at everything, and that's what drives Killroy up the fucking wall.
Well, yeah, because Killroy's he's a bad vigilante, you know?
He sucks.
Yeah, he's the worst.
He's just like sort of the only game in town, really,
Yeah.
until Superhero comes along.
Yeah, and there were a lot of Killroys. There were Killroy movies, maybe not necessarily Killroy, but like Fletch,
Yeah.
And where's Fletch in today's modern cinematic landscape? Nowhere.
They recently made another Fletch movie with John Hamm, I think.
Really? As the titular Fletch?
Yeah, I think it was called Fletch Lives.
Oh, I would watch a John Hamm Fletch movie, but I feel like if it was good, I would have heard about it.
You know, I saw the trailer for it and I never bothered following up on it. You know who would know a lot about that? Kaz.
I was going to say John Hamm.
John
but
Hamm.
Yeah, Kaz would know for sure.
Yeah. Funny enough, this was like the first project that I ever really collaborated with Kaz on, and I largely have you to thank for that.
Yeah, well, you're welcome. He's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I was working with Kaz in a play, the light and delightful musical comedy of Titus Andronicus.
Mm-hmm.
It's called.
Yeah. I went to see you because I wanted to support my writer friend.
That's right.
Since we were collaborating on something.
You got half your cast out of that show.
I absolutely did.
Claire Rice here as Killroy's love interest in this episode. As much as Killroy can have.
Yeah. Like
he's not interested.
It's a very one-sided love interest. What did the line we come up with? Like, interest is an overstatement. Yeah. But this is actually a pretty, I'm not to really pat ourselves on the shoulder on this, but in doing an extended 40 however many minute episode of this, where it's mainly just going to be us writing all these jokes for the character, you got to take away the one crutch that Killroy always had, which is his guns.
Yeah.
And so how are we going to write this vigilante story where essentially a funny version of the Punisher can't shoot anybody?
The Funny Punisher would be a good name for
the Funny Punisher. Yeah, that's what the knockoff Hong Kong DVD box says.
The Funny Punisher.
The Funny Punisher.
I like the idea, and this is because we were thinking about Titus at the time, of characters who kind of live outside of the narrative, who want to get in, who see that there is a narrative happening, hey, do you have a love interest yet for this feature-length special episode?
Yeah.
No, I'm fine.
No,
okay, because I love you. It's
well, let's put a pin in that one for another time. And here's Kaz as Quinoa was his name.
Quinoa.
We really were racking our brains on what to call this guy. It's got to be hipstery, but almost a name.
You know that this is really relevant too because it's a play on BuzzFeed, which is of course
not
going strong.
Oh yeah. Well, for a while there wasn't the angle of BuzzFeed was that they used all their clickbaity stuff to actually fund proper investigative journalism.
Well, that's what they said.
That's what they said. Yeah.
But they were just a click farm. And I think what happens when you have the seed money and you have people who can come in and then work with all of your, venture capital money is like you can do good work. But I mean, that was not top of mind when BuzzFeed began.
No, and certainly in 2016 or 2015 when we wrote this, that like people were still seeing BuzzFeed as just where you went to see which Disney, Snow White, Seven Dwarf you most identify with.
Yeah,
something like that.
It's bashful, by the way.
Oh,
I'm a bashful guy.
I'm sleepy.
Just as long as you're not dopey.
No. On occasion, I can be dopey.
That character is offensive, I think, in hindsight.
To dopes.
Just to general dope.
Oh, Mercutio. Oh, man. That was very serendipitous that we came up with just having a cat in the interview that also gets the job at the same time as Jay. But also because we were racking our brains on how to end it.
Yeah.
Because I was insistent on the voice that calls up the guys and gives them a tip, and then who's like a shadowy figure who kind of like says like you're on the right path, like the deep throat character.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, well, who is that person? It has to be revealed at one point, and it was like it can't be anyone because like we there's so few characters are introduced in this. It can't be the villain. It can't be the love interest. Who's left? The cat.
It's gotta be the cat.
So,
I really wanted to Maltese Falcon it, where like there's just no answer for who it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
There are all these like huge plot holes in some of those great film noirs, where like when you ask the guy who wrote it, like, hey, like who was driving the car in that scene, he doesn't know. Like he's drunk too. He's like, I don't know.
I guess we'll just never know.
Yeah, it's just part of the mystery. I suppose he had an accomplice. Like I don't know. And so that's kind of how I was hoping to set it up. But I did like your idea to make it make sense. That was, I think, a brave collaborative choice.
I mean, in my mind, I'm just thinking to myself, well, that makes it look like this was always like tight as a drum, plot-wise. Like there's no wasted material, no wasted parts or anything. When really it was just like me going through like the entire script and the entire episode, going, "Fuck, who could it be?"
It's great, though, because it really adheres to the law of economy characters. Like, if you give a character a name, it's a character. Like, this is someone you need to pay attention to, someone who is a suspect. So as soon as we meet Mercutio, it's like, well, this is Mercutio. I mean, well, now he's definitely on the table. Like, he could be involved in the plot, and he is.
He is. We found a way to bring it back.
You really went all out on the character designs.
On the character designs? Oh, my God, the proportions on that. That short guy, I thought in my mind was going to be like the Wolverine character who is like meant to be short in the comics, but I made him a skunk.
He's totally a skunk.
He's totally a skunk. That's Virginia voicing the one female hero there, doing her best, dumb blonde bimbo voice.
Do we have names for like the guy who has the little guy on his shoulder there?
No, no, I don't think so. I know that the everyone who has voiced lines, they'll have names.
Yeah.
So the guy talking there is like City Knight because he's got the knight on the
right.
Yeah, he's our Batman, and I forget what I called her in the script. I'm sure she's named
like Wonder Woman, but not.
Yeah, but not Wonder Woman. I was drawing on my memory banks of working in certain offices that looked exactly like the exposed brick, Yaletown office.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Oh, thank you.
Stop looking at the ceiling. Nothing up there. Some part of the floor people doing their own thing, having their own adventures.
It just slides. That's a joke for all the cat owners out there. Oh, so you might. Now, this is something that a visual cue that only I appreciated, and I'm glad I finally get to loop people in on this.
Yes.
Every time we find ourselves in the new location at the Trend Hut offices, the name on the sign changes.
Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was with 2 T's in the last scene.
Mm-hmm. And then I think by the end, there's like a P instead of a D, and
Trendfoot, I guess.
Trendfoot or something like that, yeah. Something to that effect. But it was like, I'm a fan of big background, text-based jokes like that. What tickled your fancy just there?
I'm just laughing at the idea that what Trend Hut publishes exclusively is just crime-based lists, like the worst guarded banks and
It's just a free open resource for criminals.
yeah, like the 21 best places in Gritty City to do crime.
Yeah. Top 10 sleepiest security guards or something like that.
Yeah, it's a great idea. It's also pretty similar, I think, to what like a Daily Hive list would be like. It'd be like the top 10 places to drink in Vancouver, and it's all these beaches where it's against the law.
Yeah.
But they are the best places to drink. This is a list of criminal activities that are really fun to do in Vancouver.
Drinking in public spaces, which now you can do.
Yeah.
But back 6 years ago.
Yeah, it was a hellscape back then.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you took the law into your own hands in some of those places.
Very dystopian.
Well, that's not true. What was that one alcove that you and I saw the fireworks at?
Oh, it's my favorite little beach there, Cowabunga Beach.
Cowabunga Beach.
It's funny, I just ran into one of the regulars there, just like a guy around the area who was always there and always pretty drunk. I liked him.
Yeah. Well, it's Cowabunga Beach season again.
It's true. I've been thinking about going back there.
I thought I told you to stay out of the heroing game. Keep the crime fighting to the tops.
That's why I came to you.
And I'm glad you did, so I could tell you to drop it.
I like the idea too that like the police, and this was early in my radicalization, but the police are useless, but they're still telling everybody not to take the law into their own hands, but they're still just relying on the superheroes to do all
the real stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, don't fight this crime. And they're calling up superhero and superhero team.
Yeah, who just make their lives all the easier and everything. I mean, there are only ever like 4 people on the police force. Like, I've only ever made 4 models of cops, so like they're and throughout the series there's mentioned that like they're underfunded and the captain hates working there, and he hates taking orders from the mayor.
Well, I'm sure they'll come back. So, Roy, what are you doing here? I could ask you the same question. And I will. What are you doing here?
That, like, jokes like that that are just, like, kind of spelled out and then repeated, that's my jam.
Yeah.
Like, I could ask you the same question, and I will. What are you doing here?
I mean, that's pretty much what the writing process was like. You would say to me, like, hey, Jameson, what are you doing here? And I would just answer back in either the Killroy voice or whatever. Like, what would Killroy say? And I'd go, I don't know. What are you doing here? What am I doing here?
Yeah, right into the script. Oh, that's gold. Put it in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And this being sort of the big special, the last episode, there has to be somewhat of a divide between our two heroes. But
there's a breakup happening.
There is a breakup, and yet it's like never a serious breakup. Because it's a series that never takes itself seriously.
I like the choice to make the one guy blue.
Yep.
Tell me about that.
Blue Bowman. That's my take on...
Blue Beetle.
No, Green Arrow, actually. You're close. Yeah.
Blue Bowman.
Yeah. But, I mean, an entire series that's, like, all set in black and white and everything, right? I mean, it's just somewhat shocking that there's someone actually dressed in, like, a noticeable color.
Yeah.
And all that really was... Actually, I thought about this not too long ago. Because everything is sort of meant to look like, old pulpy black and white noir kind of looks. That's actually really hard to do with such a limited amount of grays and different shades of black and white. So it's a lot easier to just fill in, use like the paint bucket tool to make someone blue.
Yeah.
But then you got to kind of tuck him behind like 3 or 4 other characters so he doesn't really draw the eye. The hipster ninjas, I forgot. We made them all hipsters.
I really like to just the idea of having the superheroes doing all this exciting fighting in the background, but like we are not interested in it.
Nope. We're here for the mundane, everyday conversations.
Yeah, this is a chatty show, It's
well, I mean that's just my jam, right? I mean, I'm not an animator, despite what my recent film award will tell you for best animated film. I've always just been
Wikipedia says.
Yeah, exactly. I've always just been more of a writer, and so this was like a really cheap avenue to do some of the more outlandish ideas I had.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to have like a big superhero brawl in the background of a scene. That's going to cost way too much money. And the people in charge of the purse strings are going to want to see, the dailies and how it's coming along.
Right. Yeah, I know that you had a big staff.
If this were live action, people would be like, what the fuck is this horseshit? Why is it in black and white?
Except for this blue boat.
Yeah, except for this blue guy.
He's a total ripoff. He's a ripoff of so many heroes.
2 at least.
I'm counting 4 or 5 different heroes that you're plagiarizing.
4 or 5 different lawsuits. Firing with a stapler.
And there isn't a moment to lose. To the bar! Cat's better at than I am. What else? Kilo doesn't seem to mind that all the articles offer advice to criminals.
The cat joke, too, is great because this was back when cats were really taking over the internet.
Yes.
So, it actually does make sense that a cat would be better at that job than
me. Yeah,
yeah, right?
Low skilled.
Yeah.
And whereas the cat's just a natural at it.
Yeah, I mean, there's that joke, right? Like, did a cat write this? Yeah. No, cats were in charge for a while there.
Oh. So I want to ask you this as we introduce us to your first voice character, Reed the Newsman, the man on the scene. Now, do you recall when I first pitched that anchor name to you? Do you remember what your reaction was?
I feel like I probably laughed really hard. What did you
You did eventually. What happened was I pitched it to you, and I'm like, I got this funny idea, play on words for the news anchor guy. His name is Reed the Newsman, as in read the news, man. And you're like, okay, cool. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess it's not as funny as I thought it was.
I just didn't get it at all.
But then, 20 seconds later, as I'm breaking down some more story stuff, you went, Reed the Newsman! Oh! And you laughed your ass off, and I was like, all right.
Still very funny.
Oh, yeah. I just love the concept of, because I always want to give some character a hook. Yeah. His hook is that he's the only news guy in town.
Yeah.
He runs everything. So he's in the actual stage, reading the news, and then he cuts to the guy in the scene, and then on TV there would be 15 minutes of dead air before he can actually drive his ass to the scene.
Yeah, that was really inspired by how I was working at the Vancouver Sun. Yeah. That was, right at the end of the print industry.
Yeah, you wore a lot of hats.
I sure did. And there were a lot of days that I'd be the only one in the newsroom. I'd be making the calls and posting the story and trying to fill it in and get everything together. And
and as you were telling me that and just complaining about it, I was like, that's actually a really funny one guy keeping the lights on.
Well, yeah, it's funny that it's one guy doing TV news, on the spot news, but it's just him. He's your camera guy. Mm-hmm. He's your teleprompter.
Yeah, it's one whole operation. He's immediately corrected and he still gets it wrong.
Claire's so good.
Oh yeah, she nailed it. What an asshole.
Yeah, he's the worst. It is, of course, very easy to sneak into the police ball because the police don't do anything. There's only 4 staff members.
Yeah.
They were all pictured there, I think.
Mm-hmm. All at the one table, the rest is just catering or something. Oh, I love my friend Brian's take on the mayor. He was never originally, he was always meant to be dumb, but when he came out with that voice, it just elevated to another level. Mm-hmm. An extra level of dopiness. Jeez. Who says grandpappy anymore?
Just Killroy.
Yeah. The MacGuffin Diamond.
Yes.
Did we use that term appropriately? Because
we sure did.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean, I think a MacGuffin is its own thing, so we wouldn't need to say the MacGuffin Diamond. It would just be called the MacGuffin, but like...
Yeah, you needed to give it some kind of title.
Yeah. You know, and it's just really funny to me that, like, everything is... You know, because we worked really hard on this, but, like, the joke is that the script is also very half-assed, you know? It's like, the MacGuffin Diamond, and the heroes are a superhero team, and, you know... Yeah, the love interest is like so shoehorned in. She's like
she's barely a character. Yeah. No, it was a really fun project, and I'm really happy with like how it all came together. It went from me like being really nervous about when collaborating on this new project with like I've never had a writing partner before, and it was such my voice and my comic sensibilities. I don't know. I was kind of nervous having someone else work in that same wheelhouse, in that same playground. And I think this turned out to be one of the funnier Killroy episodes. And a lot of that has to do with taking that risk and collaborating with someone.
It's always hard to reach out bro to bro.
Yeah. Well, it was you that came to me and said, "Hey, I'd like to work on a Killroy," and I was like, "Perfect. I need a send off." So
I need a series finale.
And your team's on to you, Steve. How about you?
It's a bad call getting the mayor to trust him to hold something for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, a bag of money. You just give it to the mayor. Like, here, don't lose this.
It's a bag or a diamond called Daryl. Diamond bag Daryl.
Oh, right. It's not a bag of money.
No, it's just the diamond.
Your
dime bag there.
I take my name off of that joke.
No, that's 100% me. This is why I was a little eager to collaborate on this. Diamond bag.
I still don't understand.
Diamondback Daryl was like the front man of the band Pantera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when you have it explained like that, it's hilarious, right?
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool to know.
I don't want to see you fighting or doing crime again tonight. Like, it's such a ludicrous world, but like everything goes by the end of it, right? Like this, like the childish sensibilities, the comic book logic of everything. There's a talking cat that wraps up the entire movie by the end. It's like everything goes in like this heightened world. It's probably still one of my favorite projects I've ever worked on.
We go now to read the news.
Thanks, Reed. And obviously, I sampled that sound of that car screeching sound effect from The Simpsons.
That's The Simpsons.
That's The Simpsons one, yeah. Learn from a professional, kid.
No need to take me down. Just do my superheroic job. Superhero really gets around.
Trent Hub.
He's a mononym. It's just one name.
Mm-hmm.
Joaquinwa.
Yeah. 2016, very progressive of him.
Yes.
Or maybe that was the trend in 2016. I don't remember.
When it started.
That's when, yeah.
I do like how often a hole gets blown in the wall.
Oh yeah, and it's always just like a solid chunk of it. There's never like any kind of foundation that comes out. It's like
just a solid hole.
Oh yeah, like all the buildings in this world are just like made out of like sponge. You can just cut out.
Yeah. I one of the funniest jokes in this is Zach saying my window.
I think that's coming up, isn't it?
Is that still coming up?
It's coming up still, yeah.
I thought maybe the window was broken earlier.
Oh, I mean, windows get broken all the time. It almost in that same like cauliflower look to it and everything.
Oh gosh, my window.
Oh yeah, and we just like really played into all the new age hippy dippy crap that both you and I both found hilarious and ridiculous. Oh. Is that mysterious?
Oh, yeah. Who's that?
Mm-hmm.
Gotta get to the bridge. Why? Because a man on the phone told us to go there. Hey, do you think I'm too trusting? No. Good. Hello? Are there any mysterious...
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like we could have made the bad guy read the newsman, since voice-wise, it's clearly the same.
Same guy. I asked you to go a little bit deeper. Maybe I lowered the pitch a little bit.
Man, I knew this guy's intel was no good. That's how you got a mysterious figure.
I mean, I'm not knocking you or anything. It's just
I don't have a lot of range. I can only be myself.
I'm actually kind of surprised at how many voices I got in me.
Yeah.
Considering I don't have like a whole lot of training. It's just growing up like playing all these video games when my sister was sitting right next to me. She can't read, or she couldn't read at the time. So I got to put on the funny
You gotta read
inflections
all
and
the
stuff.
voices.
Yeah.
It's a me, Mario.
Exactly. Just smashed it.
Oh, where haven't I done that? Now come on, the mysterious figure.
It's Trepod
It's
now.
a Trep Hut this time.
You know what?
A lot of rebranding going on. Like hourly rebranding.
Whoa, what's this? The Automaton...
Oh, fuck me. I hated doing this.
Acronym. Thomas Acronym.
Yoda Bite was the big one that I defined, which well, what the hell does that mean? I think it means like a computer, like a shared computer network or something, or it's like
Yoda Bite.
something like that, like a trillion power strong algorithm.
Cool.
I don't know. I looked that up. It sounded vaguely digital and computery, and I was like, perfect. I needed a Y, just spelled acronym.
We all need a Y in our lives.
Yeah, when I found out why.
Yeah, but this is what everyone wants from us now. And maybe it's better this way. I mean, for one thing, there's no fear.
There he is.
There he is.
There you go. Instant contradiction.
Oh, he's so
I cut my hands.
he's so good. The only professional voice actor we had for this, and he just shines.
Absolutely. We've had professional actors in this, but you could tell. Well, I think he's like one of the only other guys that did multiple characters. He did the one guy at the beginning, and then he did the old janitor.
We probably should have given him some of my lines, but I like the stuff.
Oh, if this were being done now, I totally have a filter that could make it sound like him talking through a phone.
Yeah.
Because I know how to do that now.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Maybe we'll have to do another episode.
Oh, shit.
Is it time?
Is it time? Are we announcing it here? No, God. We're way more busy than we were back then. You have too many kids.
I love his Raza Blue Cave here.
Yeah. I was totally going for that, too.
Rip off.
Oh, my God. That's the
Tricky.
same scene, too. Yeah, I was totally going for the Ra's al Ghul vibe for him. He was like the one like super villain I hadn't spoofed yet in Killroy.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, okay, well, he's a guy who's got like an army with him, so there's like
Yeah.
some disposable henchmen that you could have in there.
Well, yeah, and a guy who has a dumb philosophy that seems to be guiding this fight with Batman.
Mm.
Superheroes and Killroy are working together. Teamed up to popularize crime and therefore drive up the private superhero team out. He's probably here to frame us for the robot attacks. No, superheroes too much of a one-dimensional big tissue to try anything interesting like that.
Kilroy's pant legs are so fucking big.
Yeah, that triangle look is kind of regrettable. It's just I don't know.
So
I don't know what I was thinking with that. Oh man, I think maybe in an early sketch that I had, his trench coat was like really billowy and flowing. But I don't know, like the weird parachute pants that he has. I mean, it's a look, but it doesn't fit.
No, but I still like it for him because he doesn't fit in the world, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, so sure, he's wearing just gigantic
Baggiest
bell-bottom pants.
Yeah. I have like done episodes where like he's wearing shorts or he's like just walking around in his
Well, what do his legs look like?
He's thin.
Okay.
Like my joke with Killroy is that he's always like the skinniest guy in the room and always like the tallest guy in the room.
Right.
Even with like other big characters, unless they're like meant to be a monster or something, he's always dwarfing people.
Right, okay.
So he's just always constantly off-putting and awkward looking. which is a sort of a little shorthand I learned from Conan O'Brien. And so his always go-to, where he's just like, yeah, I'm just a naturally goofy-looking guy, so it plays well for comedy. She's so eager to be. She's got a little shrine to him. There we go.
I love that. The best thing you can do is stay put and not help. Can you do that for me?
Start using that a little more often.
I use that with my kids sometimes. I'm like, I want to help with the laundry, son.
Yeah, I think the backhanded compliment of it, yeah, that's gonna be lost on them for now.
Yeah.
So get those in while you can.
Yeah, that's a real Deus Ex Machina there. Eh?
Oh, yeah.
Like, hey guys,
I noticed this while I was busy like saving the day and fighting robots and shit. Like I noticed I'm taking time out to help you out, and then I'm going back to doing the big high profile shit.
I do like the idea that once he says where it is, the floor gets there.
Yep, then
Like,
it becomes real then.
Yeah, it
I
never
think
makes sense.
I think that scene was originally supposed to end with him saying like, "Well, good luck, boys," and then he goes off and he like saves a falling helicopter or something.
Yeah.
So it's just like, he's always on.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot going on.
She's so happy to be tied up over the pit. In terms of following kind of basic hero movie formula, I mean, Joaquin one needed a dumb speech, and that's what we're getting here.
Yeah. Yeah, we did have to sit down and think, okay, what's his motivation here? What plays well to like his character and to his new age philosophies and everything?
Yeah, like,
and that also ties into what Trend Hut is doing. And what did we stumble upon? Like,
it's perfect balance.
Balance, because Killroy is too effectual.
Yeah, because he kills everyone.
Yeah.
Like, bad guys are supposed to come back for sequels and stuff.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. But like, if you just kill everyone who's bad, then you got
no story. Yeah.
Who's your longtime nemesis, you jerk?
There you go. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Fuck.
See, look.
There you go. The frowny face and the
stop killing.
Yeah. Oh, and these are flashbacks to earlier episodes where it looked like Killroy wasn't going to get his man, but eventually he does, and I kind of made a point to go back and make sure he always got it. So another one of those, like, wow, happy accidents.
I really like the idea, too, that this is, like, such a series finale that, you get your flashbacks, you tie everything together. Like, this whole time, you've been watching a superhero who does too much killing, and no one likes it. And it's not because they don't like the murder, it's because they don't like that there isn't then a steady roster of bad guys to cycle through. Like,
yeah.
No killing.
Yeah, that was good forethought on my part. I totally planned that.
Way to go,
no, it's really serendipitous that like that kind of story angle was stumbled upon. It's like, oh yeah, this clearly could have been set up by a smarter team and not just one guy.
I've been planning this for years.
Yeah.
I love that the henchmen are wearing, like, toques.
Toques and scarves indoors, sunglasses indoors. And I always like how, like, there are clearly other superheroes, but you really only need superheroes.
Yeah.
You did take our phones, and in this modern world,
Enough. Do not try to sum up what we've heard.
We just got through a massive monologue. We don't need another one.
Sounds like a bunch of hippie nonsense to me.
I thought I was going loud. It's just that happened.
Yeah. Now, my least favorite thing to animate big fight scenes, where you really see the shortcuts and how inept I am at this sort of thing.
I did too. To die.
Now, do you remember why that happens?
Lead, my wife.
Yeah, his kryptonite is lead.
I love, my favorite thing about that joke is that he didn't know.
Yeah. Or he did know and made the ultimate heroic sacrifice.
Like he jumps in front of it like,
Yeah. Oh, I forgot.
Because this really hurts. Do me a favor and kill the guy.
Yeah. And those are the fun things to animate.
Yeah.
Terrible. Also, he will take away.
Boy, I could really like a retake of that running away.
Incredible.
Oh boy. Okay. Oh, perfectly balanced.
Perfectly balanced.
Somehow, like I can't imagine two people standing on a suspension bridge like that, only supported by two ropes.
What's it matter? You don't always have to shoot first and ask questions later. So I've heard. There's another way. Rather than shooting everyone, you don't know them. Learn what makes them
I think I tried to give him like tattoo sleeves.
Yeah, I was looking at those.
Yeah, up close they look a little better, but all jumbled up. Maybe I just wanted to have like the ugliest looking tattoo sleeves.
After a long journey I'm finally ready to talk about. Go ahead. Ask me anything. Fire away. Well, you really set yourself up for this one.
Jesus.
As we were saying.
There you go, yeah. Oh, and now here comes the big reveal of, oh yeah, no, this is like, we gotta wrap everything up. So I think at one point I'm just like, hey, I found the diamond. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Everything's wrapped up in a tight little package, I see.
Who's that mysterious figure who took the song
Yeah.
from the Clinton office? Edwin. Yeah, did you leak that article about the diamond? That would be me.
A full stool.
Yeah. I mean, it totally could have been Reed the Newsman, but no, we want to go for the dumbest possible explanation. And there's talking animals in this universe.
Yeah, you really did some job animating his mouth.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Have you seen most of the other crap I make? Sorry, there were no art assets on making a cat's mouth move, but also...
How did Jim Davis do it?
I don't know.
Oh, he didn't. I remember.
No, yeah,
he did not. Famously, did not.
Yeah. Garfield is psychic, isn't he?
He's always thinking.
He speaks telepathically.
Thinking of jokes.
I am old and lazy.
He just talks forever. Like, it's just the most unwelcome monologue at the end. Shut up, cat.
It reminds me of the end of the first Anchorman movie, where like Will Ferrell's in the bear pit, but his little tiny dog goes in there and he communicates with the bears. And so for the next minute of the movie, you're just watching a dog bark at a bear, and you can see the subtitles of them talking. And I'm just like, we're just sitting all gobsmacked, and they're going, huh? What?
What is going on?
I don't even know. I don't even know the implications of that, but it's just, I needed like a little button for, okay, it's the hospital, but what's another funny thing you could say about it?
And Gris.
So that's something you want to think about.
The doctor expects me to make a full recovery. However, he advised that I refrain from my heroic duties for at least the next 6 months. 6 months?
Oh, 6 months. Totally could have made another series in that time. Fuck.
Yeah, we should do a sequel to this where he has to get back in the game, even though he's still got
A superhero spin-off, you mean?
Yeah.
That's like the meanest he's ever been.
Or lame.
Or lame.
And now I shall take my leave, as I am late for a catheter fitting. Farewell, Green City. You will forever be in my heart. Superhero. Away!
That's a funny animation where he
Where he-
flies off with the
walker. Yeah. Like, what's the point of him needing a walker if he can fly?
Well, it's just funny that you lifted his leg, right? So, because you could have just had him, like, had the still just float up and away.
Sure, yeah.
But you gave him the little leg.
That little up and away boost, right?
Just promise us that from now on you'll think before gunning someone down.
As always, you can count on me.
Robbing a hot dog vendor.
I am Mean Machine.
I am-
and I demand all the hot dogs you have.
That's how we roll. That's just another day in Gritty City, man.
Truly one of the greatest episodes of television ever made.
I thought it was. I mean, it all came together in a really fun way, and I thought it was a very fitting send-off that I could walk away from the franchise with, and I gave me an excuse to really go a little overboard. Like, I'm not going to do, stylized credits like this all the time. It's
perfect. And the running time. I think we ended at it's like 44 minutes or something like that.
something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like exactly how long an hour-long special episode
Ought to
be.
Yeah.
Like with commercials, it's your 44-minute,
Mm-hmm.
kind of perfect special. They'd be like, next after Grey's Anatomy,
Yeah.
Killroy.
You see this on prime time on like ABC or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Might have to clean it up for the censors, but
It's the Fox TV animation
yeah.
block. The PJs, followed by American Dad, and then a special hour-long can't-miss episode of
Killroy. The series finale.
I am Mean Machine.
Our buddy Danny. Danny's actually, I've known him for a long time, and he's had a cameo roles in every one of my cartoons.
So fun.
Yeah, but thank you so much for taking the time and doing this, Harrison.
I just saw that Virginia's hero's name is Energina.
I think maybe it was Energina, but did I see that out loud?
Oh boy.
All right, so maybe it won't be primetime on ABC after all.
With comedy like that, we're going straight to HBO.
Exactly. It's a wonder why we didn't do that more often. Oh, fuck. The words are cut up on the end. This was not formatted to the best of my capabilities.
That was a special project, Jameson.
It was.
I'm honestly honored that you let me handle your character right at the
Thank you so much.
I'm
I'm so happy that you took an interest in it and that you came with like such an enthusiasm and such a fun idea for it too. And I, working with you is an absolute breeze, and I would 100% do it again in a heartbeat.
We will.
Yeah.
The end?
The end? Question mark? Question mark? Well, there was a Killroy will return when he's good and ready, whatever the hell that means. Now it's... Oh, this is my running commentary. That's what they're called. They're called Slim Bits. And thank you for listening to this special edition Slim Bits on the 20th episode of Killroy. It was a long time coming getting this. I'm really happy that we did it. All right. So thanks again, Harrison. Final thoughts?
Yeah, we need to bring that back. That was fun.
Yeah.
We need. I want more Killroy. I want a
You and me
feature
both?
length.
Well, okay, we'll talk. I have thought about bringing back the series. I was thinking like what I would do. I think I would take him out of the city and I would get him to do more like
like a rural vigilante.
like espionage kind of stuff, like an Archer kind of thing.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk.
Let's talk. All right. But thanks again for listening, everybody. I'm Jameson.
I'm Harrison Mooney.
All right, and you guys take care out there. And whatever. I got no.
Keep watching the skis.
Keep watching the skis. That's another Simpsons reference for you.